Hi everyone, this is Lada from astrolada.com, and today I'm here with your weekly horoscope for the last week of July from the 24th till the 30th of July. And it is important week astrologically because only once every 2.5 years the planet Mars and the Sun join together in the sky, which means there is a new cycle starting of the planet Mars, which will continue for 2.5 years, which means we're starting a new impulse of action. I'm going to speak out. This is going to affect each of the signs, each of the 12 signs, how it's going to personally affect you, how it's going to affect the whole world. Plus, Mercury is changing its sign. It's moving into Virgo, where it's the strongest. That's great news for anything to do with organization and work. So we'll go through all of this. And before that, I want to remind you guys that on the 30th of July, on Sunday next week, is my webinar all about Leo. We're going to look what it means to have planets in Leo, all the planets, what it means to have Leo on the different house cusps, what is the secrets of Leo, what is the general patterns in the life of Leos, if it's your ascendant or sun, because often there are similarities in the lives of those people with strong Leo, and what it's coming from, and what is the most typical careers, love life, so you'll know everything foundationally about Leo. And also, don't forget that on the 12th of August, there is a webinar with Mike Amato on how to create financial freedom. And it's nothing to do with astrology, but it's a practical webinar from a self-made millionaire who teaches you the steps of financial independence, whatever it means for you. Anyway, let's start the horoscope for this week, guys. Okay, I'm going to first speak about the Mars Sun conjunction, which happens every 2.5 years. It's a new cycle. It's like the new moon when the moon joins the sun, but it happens every month. While for Mars, when it joins the sun, it happens once every 2.5 years. It's like the new moon phase of Mars, so to speak. That is happening actually on the 27th of July, but the whole week is under its influence. And not only that, but the next whole month till Mars is in Leo, it's pivotal in regards to the new things that you're going to start, which are going to impact you for a long time, for at least 2.5 years after that. And what is Mars? Now let's see. Mars is our impetus and our drive for action. What makes us, what our competitive spirit, our assertive spirit, our desire to go, to get up and go, to start, to initiate things, to fight for something, to put the energy in something, So this is like, really, it's the inner warrior in us. So it's been, now it's going to join the sun, and the sun is the king. And Mars is like his general. And when Mars is joining the king, he's taking the king's advice. So this week is when your inner warrior is going to God, the sun, the ultimate king, to chat with the king and to basically to take up a new creative plan of action. And it's going to affect us collectively, the whole world, but also personally. It means that this week, a new energetic program is being imprinted on each one of us, depending where the Mars and Sun conjunction falls in our horoscope. I'll speak about each of the 12 signs, but I want to give you some explanation why this is so important first. And as I said, the general is consulting with the king for the next strategy of action for winning the battle. The battle is our life. This is how Mars perceives it, at least. Mars wants to win a battle, wants to reach some goal. Mars is the cutthroat businessman. Mars is the military. Mars is our inner drive to succeed. So it's going to get renewed that week, guys. And you're going to start gradually noticing after the 27th of July that your impetus for action is being reinvented, is being new inspiration for action is coming into your life. And that's going to be a very Leonic inspiration. What will motivate us? What will start motivating you to do a new breakthrough? Mars is the planet that makes breakthrough. It's a sharp planet. It's a planet that rules invasive instruments and knives and things like that. So if we want a breakthrough, Mars is the planet we go to. If we're stuck in a situation that's been going on for the long time and we're not able to do anything about it, again, Mars is the planet to go to have a breakthrough. Mars is the planet that needs to be re-energized for us to start moving our butts, for us to take some new direction and have a breakthrough in a different direction. And this is what's been happening. Actually, many of you maybe even started feeling in the last few months that it's kind of the motivation and impetus for you is dying out a little bit. Maybe you haven't been doing too many totally new things, so you haven't had the push and drive because Mars was in its waning phase. In its smallest phase, when it's in the last couple of months almost, it's been invisible before it joins the sun this week on the 27th of July and starts its new 2.5 cycle around the zodiac. So we'll be rebirth, our desire for action, for breakthrough, for success. Mars is the planet that kicks us in the butt to go follow our success. We'll be reinvented, we'll be recharged. So gradually after the 27th, you'll start feeling those, yes, get up and go. Let me, it's time to start moving and doing those things that I'm supposed to do. And the motivation will be Leonian. What does it mean? Leo-like. You'll be motivated to have new beginnings and breakthroughs and new initiatives because you want to self-express yourself better, because Leo is the sign of self-expression, because you want to improve your self-confidence, because you want to improve your self-respect. If someone has been kicking you in the corner, if someone has been neglecting you, or you felt like your dignity was being hurt in some way over the last months or years or whatever, now this Mars conjunct Sun in Leo says that over the next 2.5 years, starting from next week, your actions, you would be and the whole world basically will be much more motivated to change direction, to make initiatives that will improve their self-dignity, that will improve their self-respect. And also the reason to motivate you to act can be if someone hurt you, if someone said, oh, you'll never do that. And Leo is the sign that says, I'm the best, I'm the top, I'm the king. So you might just, even if it's negative way that you're motivated, it might be like someone put you down and you tell them, I'm going to prove you all wrong. I'm going to show you that I'm the best. I'm going to show you that I can shine just like Leo does. And I'm going to show you that I can be independent, authoritative, and I can take the lead. Leo is a sign of leadership. So your motivation to act will be because you want to improve yourself, because your self-confidence or self-dignity was hurt, so you want to claim it back. So you start new initiatives because you want to take more leadership in that area of your life, take control. Leo is a sign of power and strength, like a king. So you want to take control back of that area of your life. And I'm going to go for each sign to indicate what it means. And this week, this initiative, and also because Leo is the sign of fun, because you want to create more fun in this area of your life, because you want to be able to enjoy more. That's why you take new initiatives and you do new actions there, starting from next week. And especially the first month after that is very pivotal because the sign Leo is a fixed sign, which means that anything new that we start with the Mars and the Sun, the two planets of action now in Leo, and they're joining there, will have a long-lasting impact on us because fixed signs give their results for a long time. So if you want to start out a new workout routine to improve your confidence, to prove to everyone that you can do it, that you have the strength. For example, if it's a workout routine, starting it now, get over the next 1 month while both Mars and the Sun are together in Leo, especially after the 27th of July, guarantees you that you're going to stick with it for a long time. If you're starting a business project, creative project, you're going to stick with it for a long time. At least you're going to have the drive and motivation to stick with it for a long time, and the results will be long lasting. This is Leo. And the final results will also, when you look at it 2.5 years later from now, you'd look and you say, oh wow, this really improved my confidence. Those first steps that I started as an action starting from July or August 2017, this really improved my ability to enjoy life a lot more. This really improved my self-respect. This really improved my authority. This really improved my ability to control my life and to be like a king of my life. If you've been put in the corner there thinking that you're out of control, that things are out of control in your life, that things are, that you don't have the power to oppose them and muster the energy to oppose them. Now Mars conjunct Sun will re-energize you because your inner military general is consulting with the king and is going to come up with a new strategy for action and breakthroughs in your life, guys. Now let's walk through each of the signs. What happens if you are Aries? Then the Sun and Mars are joining in your 5th house in Leo. which means that basically starting from the 27th of July, and especially the whole of August, you will start new beginnings. You will be pushed into new beginnings because you want to create more fun in your life. Fifth house is exactly like Leo. So for Aries, they'll be like, enough, I've had enough. I want to let my hair down. I'm taking action. I'm booking holidays. So I'm starting to have more fun, to enjoy myself. I'm starting to, to not to allow all those duties and responsibility to overpower me, but I will paying the town rate. That might be one thing that Mars and Leo in the fifth do. And you're taking action in regards to enjoying yourself, in regards to having more fun, in regards to romantic pursuits. If you're single, you'll become way more, you get a new strategy, a new impetus to act, how to catch your praise, how to follow your, heart's desire, because the fifth house also rules the heart, and so does Leo. How to go after. Mars is to go after and hunt after what your heart desires, what gives you joy, what creates more fun. And actually this can indicate new beginnings, a new strategy in your new love life, or some kind of a breakthrough starting from the 27th of July onwards. And I'm telling you, it's not necessarily exactly on the 27th, but the next month after that will be especially important. That impacts you for 2.5 years about your love life, how you give and receive love, and it will make you more proactive in chasing romance. Even if you're married already many years, whatever, it will be, you'll become more proactive in chasing after yours, in creating such kind of romantic, enjoyable experiences. Also, it might be fifth house is sports that you enjoy. If you want, guys, and for Aries is so important, whether it's your ascendant or sun, that they do something physical. Otherwise, they're not in touch with their real essence, because Aries is all about the movement of the physical body. And every Aries, whether it's Aries ascendant, Aries moon, or Aries sun person, needs and has to have some physical exercise that they enjoy, preferably. And the fifth house is the things we enjoy, hobbies, pleasures, and Mars is the planet of sports, and the sun is the planet of initiation. So you might have from July, the end of July and August, a new breakthrough in regards to a sports that you do, that you're gonna enjoy, that's gonna give you fun, and that you're gonna stay with it for a long time, that you're gonna follow through, because it's Leo. Okay, fifth house is also creative pursuits, guys. So you might become very creatively to pursue not only romantic and fun experiences in the next 1 month that will have a lastingly change how you do fun anyway, but you're going to also be very initiative in starting some new creative projects. And they might be business projects, but as long as you're using your own ingenious thinking, your own inspiration, so to speak. So you're gonna go after that, pursue that areas, go for it. You have green light after and not only that, but remember the new moon is also in Leo. It's happening today or tomorrow on the 23rd of July. So this also, especially in the next 2 weeks, new beginnings, again, connected to Leo. And Mars gives extra warmth, to go pursue those fifth house things. The joy of your heart, how to have more fun, romance, how to new breakthroughs in romance, new breakthroughs in your relationships with your children, or maybe some new initiatives that your children are going to be starting over that will impact them for the next 2.5 years, and new creative pursuits. Okay, if you're Taurus, this full moon, this conjunction of Sun and Mars is happening in your fourth house, Taurus, which means that you feel the desire to take action over the next 1 month in regards to your personal life, in regards to your family, in regards to your property. You might feel inspired, because Leo is a sign of inspiration and joy, to really make your home better, to really make it more glamorous, which is Leo, and you take the action. If you've been thinking, I have to paint that porch, or I have to paint that porch, by the way. If you've been thinking that I really have to fix the home, or really have to buy a better home, I really have to relocate, now you might have a breakthrough. Now you might say, enough. I've suffered enough. I want to have fun now. I want to enjoy my home. I want to enjoy my family. I've had enough, or maybe something else. So you can take the actions in regards to changing something in regards to your home, family, property. Or, for example, if someone of your family has been putting you down, has been suppressing your confidence, your joy of life, which is what Leo is. Now this conjunction of the Sun and Mars in your fourth house, Taurus, if you're ascendant or sun or moon in Taurus, will give you this impetus and this drive to take actions, to stand your ground there, and to be strong, to regain back your confidence, to regain back your self-esteem in with family members or in regards to your personal life and personal, something to do with home and family. Okay, or let's see, if you're Gemini, this conjunction of Mars and the Sun, so it means the whole August you'll be under its influence, and for the next 2.5 years it will have repercussions, whatever you start now, Gemini, is in your third house. Time for breakthroughs in regards to your skills. Third house is skills, learning new skills. If you're someone who was like, I gotta learn how to use Word, or I gotta learn how to play the violin, or I gotta learn how to drive, or I gotta learn how to use that software, or I gotta learn how to swim, or whatever it is, whatever new skill it is, this is the third house, and you've been postponing it, and it was never the right time, and now with this, Mars is getting reawakened, recharged in regards to anything to do with new skills for you. So you'd have the impetus, you'll kick yourself in the butt to start learning something new, which will actually, third house also rules self-made wealth. So those skills that you acquire now, that you start learning, you'd continue learning for a long time, because the sign Leo is fixed. And or maybe taking some courses, this is also third house. Whatever skills and new knowledge you acquire now, over the next 1 month, it will be long lasting. It will create more joy in your life, and it will give you more confidence, which is what Leo is. It will give you more autonomy and more authority. Especially, these skills will be very useful for you for creating self-made wealth, which is the third house. Self-made wealth comes through our skills. It's not inherited. You're not born with a silver spoon. So people with, when your third house is activated, you have those opportunities to learn some skill that you can turn into wealth, because the third house is the second from the second. So it's a derivative house. Second is money, derivative house. So it's money, but through your skills. So anyway, third house is also, you might take action to do some traveling, Geminis, and to have a breakthrough in some traveling, or to have some new initiative in a small group environment that you can start, that can have long-lasting influence, and that can and you want to regain your authority. For example, say you're at school, and your friends, the people in your school environment, at your work environment, in your everyday environment, this is third house, Gemini. Because I'm talking about Gemini. So if those people have been putting you down, or not respecting you, not listening to your opinions, something that hit on your ego, now with this rebirth of Mars, the planet of initiative in action in Leo, in your third house, you're taking control over your healing, or not healing, but you kind of, through your own actions and activities and communications and conversations that you initiate, you're retrieving back your power. And you're asking again, over the next 2.5 years, it will grow to be more respected in the small group environment, in your office environment, through your siblings, with your neighbors, with your everyday friends that you meet to greet and chat. And you can also initiate new projects and new activities that will be lasting, that will be more creative and inspirational, with small group environments. You'll see that over the next 1 month. You'll definitely notice that you're busy bee. It's like a bee flew over me, here. And Gemini is naturally very busy bees, and the two planets of action in the third house of movement, oh my God, you'll be like, Gemini, you'll be like busy, active, talking, making new contacts, making new connections, starting new initiatives in regards to marketing, management, administrative work, communications, writing, speaking of any sort, learning new skills of any sort, your social media, third house rules, all those things, action there. New beginning, which create more self-confidence for you, and more joy as well, and more respect from others, from those activities you get, because this is what Leo is. Then, if you are Cancer, it's happening in your second house, the Mars-Sun conjunction, so there will be a renewal of your impetus to make money, yes, and to spend money. You might all of a sudden say, that's it, my self-worth, which is second house, and self-confidence is Leo. So I need to take steps to improve my self-confidence by acquiring more stabilizing my resources and finances. And actually, because the sign is Leo, it's a very stable sign. If you start new initiatives that are meant to bring finances to you, they will be long lasting, and they'll bring to you more respect from others, more self-respect from yourself as well, which is what Leo is. And they will be more creative. They'll have a creative tint to them. And so it's great to start new initiatives, Cancers, in regards to financial transactions, in regards to securing more stability, maybe finding a job that will create more financial stability for you, a second source of income or something like that, especially something creative, and will improve your pride and your sense of dignity and your sense of enjoyment of life. But also be careful, because while Mars and the Sun are together in your second house, you might be inclined to spending more, because both of those planets are masculine planets, which means they give rather than keep. And second house is money. You want to keep your money. So there you with two masculine signs, you might feel like the spur to spend more on your family, to spend more on fun, Leo stuff. But maybe that's exactly what you need. And maybe Mars, renewal of this Mars for the next 2.5 years, starting from the 27th of July, can indicate that you get a new strategy and you have a new breakthrough in regards to how to spend money, in regards to your budget, in regards to how to deal with money and resources, and anything that you possess, material, financial resources, and how to approach them, a new strategy, how to achieve more of it, and how to spend it or how to keep it and preserve it. Okay, if you're Leo, I have big news for you, because look how many things are happening in Leo over the next 2 years. My God, it's like the whole party is happening in the sign of Leo. What is it? The eclipses in Leo. They'll continue for another 1.5 years in the sign of Leo, or a year. Then you have, Rahu, the North Node, is in Leo, really increasing the confidence of Leo, really making them live up to come into the skin of a Leo. If you have suppressed Leo till now, if you were, especially, if you were not living up to the potential of Leo to be leader, to enjoy life, to be childlike, to be like a king, to be ruler of their own kingdom, to shine, to be respected, and that's what Leo wants. All those convergences of energies in Leo over the next year and a half will really help you. So the North Node, which always magnifies the qualities of the sign it is passing through and gives material manifestation, is in your sign. The eclipses are happening there because of the North Node. And now, as well, there was a new moon in Leo. So next month is extremely important for you, Leo. So this is such an important month for all Leos, whether it's their ascendant, their moon, or their sun. They're being renewed big time with the Sun-Mars conjunction in Leo as well. And it's happening in a first house, so this is house of Leo, which means new beginnings in a big way. Not only will the eclipses in August bring you new beginnings in Leo, and early born Leos were like, well, only new beginnings for the late born Leos because of the eclipses, because the North Node is there. But the early born Leos will also have new beginnings, because Leos born especially in July, because the Sun-Moon conjunction is happening in the July, in the first 10 degrees of Leo. So sorry, the Sun and the Moon is there as well. So what I'm trying to say, guys, if you're Leo, not only for next week, but over the whole next month, the actions that you take will bring you new beginnings, long-lasting new beginnings in your life, which will make you feel more joyful overall, which is what Leo is, more authentic, true to yourself, which will make you become more initiative. Watch it, Leos. Maybe you started feeling it. The Sun entered Leo already, and so did Mars. Maybe you start feeling the energy rising, and you're starting to feel more and more motivated, especially after the new moon, and especially after Mars joins the Sun. You'll be like, gung-ho, let's get up and let's go. Let's get this party started. And this, if you didn't have the motivation to do things, if you didn't have the motivation to initiate new things in your life, you'll have breakthrough of some big way, of some big sort now with this Mars-Sun conjunction, the two masculine planets of initiative in your sign. And this, whatever you start, will affect you for 2.5 years. It can be lasting for a long time. So go after it. And you have to be the initiator, because it's in your first house, guys. The breakthrough, the biggest breakthrough that will happen for anyone will be Leos. It will be for Leos, you know, and because it's in your first house, there can be a breakthrough in any area of your life, and it's initiated by you. Okay, if you're a Virgo, and by the way, also you might feel a bit more stressed because the two angry planets, the Sun is fiery ball of fire, and Mars is the angry red planet. You might be feeling more, ooh, 222, the 22. Oh my God, portal, July the 22nd of July, 2:22 p.m. Amazing, Leos. You're very lucky. This conjunction will be extremely lucky for you. Go for it, initiate. You'll have great beginnings. This, when I see such signs, especially whatever sign I'm talking about, it's you know, whoever is listening, this is a special message for you guys. There was just a little portal there, the universe opened it, and it's telling you, go for it, Leo. You're gonna make it. You're gonna come back to love yourself again, and to get to dust yourself off, to bring back the self-respect that you've lost from before, and to have more joy from life, and to become the king that you are meant to be, and to have control and independence. And the Leo is about independence, about being on the top, being the best. So something you'll do starting from next week, for the next 1 month, that will affect you for many in a very positive way for a long time ahead. Okay, if you're Virgo, this conjunction of Sun and Mars is happening in your 12th house. Now this is a bit contradictory because it's about new beginnings, and 12th house is about endings. And 12th house is where the energy kind of gets lost on us. And the two driven planets, Mars and the Sun, for a big time part until the middle of August almost, they're together there in your 12th house. So you might feel a little bit less motivated as Virgos, especially if it's your Virgo Sun or Virgo Ascendant. You might feel a little bit like, what is driving your actions, which is Mars and Sun, they're the drivers of our actions, somehow hidden, almost like you might act, your motivation might come from the unconscious, from the 12th house, from inexplicable reason that pushes you into action. Inexplicable, it's almost like, why am I doing that? And it's almost like someone like a puppeteer pulls your strings from above, maybe your higher self or maybe your lower self, that is making you do and take some actions, and you can't even understand why you're doing it. And it's usually motivated by some past life experiences or something that you've buried buried in your subconscious that you don't remember. If you get kind of passive angry, passive aggressive, it's more possible when the Sun and Mars is in the 12th house. But how can it act well for you? Because it's a renewal cycle of Mars for the next 2.5 years, which means that you can have a breakthrough, which is what the new cycle of Mars is always about, starting from the end of July, especially in August, but it will last for the next 2.5 years, guys, if you're Virgo. A breakthrough in regards to some trauma from the past or something from the subconscious that was like self-sabotaging you. The 12th house is the self-sabotaging, whether it's drinking or whether it's, you know, you're not having the courage to do something. But 12th house is how we self-sabotage without knowing. It's unconscious house. It's motivated from, you know, from past lives or from past things that happened to us as children that we don't remember. And usually it's something that's more painful, that's more traumatic, and that, you know, or maybe someone hurt us, told us a bad word when we were children or in a past lifetime or relationship, and after that you keep self-sabotaging all your relationships because you feel like you don't deserve love or something like that, but you do it unconsciously, you know. And there will be some breakthrough for you Virgos in regards to such kind of unconscious actions that you do blindly, and you keep ending, keep wondering, why do I end up doing the same stupid mistake, and what is motivating it? Maybe you won't understand it consciously, but there will be some kind of a breakthrough that you're able to remove that from your life, because 12th house is about letting things go, and the Sun and Mars is almost like you'll start some activity, or whether it's self-investigation or some creative hobby, which is what Leo is, or some kind of action, or whether it's some sport even, which will help you remove some self-destructive or not exactly self-undoing pattern, to unravel it. It might even happen subconsciously without you realizing it, but pay attention what you're doing and what inspirations you're getting over the next 12 months, guys. 30 days. While the Sun and Mars, especially after the 27th of July, around the 27th of July, because whatever your subconscious will be telling you to do something, or it will bring it to you on a plate, or somehow, in a mysterious way, it will, some action, some activity will happen, some new beginning, some new beginning and initiative, which, no matter what it is, just remember that this is a way of your higher self to get a breakthrough through some self-undoing habit of yours, and to help you, whether it's you going on a journey, or whether it's, and by the way, that's a good time, most of August, to go on faraway countries. 12th house rules faraway places, traveling to exotic places, and Sun and Mars is the planet of action, so you'll have a lot of action in such places. You might feel less motivated in your current place if you're at home in the mundane job and work position, but if you go somewhere away, like escaping reality, which is the 12th house, you will have a lot more of excitement, a lot more, and it can initiate some new beginning in your life. So if you're traveling somewhere to a foreign country, that can initiate a big new inspiration in your life, guys, big new beginning in your life. In July or the whole of August, basically. Okay, so what else is happening? And there might be some kind of a breakthrough in regards to how you deal with hidden enemies, Virgos. Someone's been talking behind your back. Someone's been undermining your confidence. You know why they say that Virgo is a shy sign and humble? Because Leo, the sign of confidence and I'm the best, is in the 12th house. 12th house is the one that we have subconscious access only, not conscious. So they have confidence, but it's kind of, they're blind to it. It's behind them. And it's harder to access. So now this Sun Mars will allow you to access this subconscious self-confidence, to empower yourself. And they can also unlock some good karma from past lifetimes, 12th house, which can push you some important event that is connected to your current life that you have to see, that will start new beginning in this current life, can be kick-started when the Sun and Mars are joined in your 12th house, Virgo. Because 12th house is past life karma and the Sun and Mars is action, so something is being kicked into action, which will improve your self-esteem, which will improve your self-belief. And remember, 12th house is also hidden enemies. Someone, and that might be on subconscious, we're our biggest enemies, and often we're not aware of it, 12th house, hidden enemies. But some enemy, if there is a real one, or even if it's your own, self-undoing, as we said, bad habits or whatever that you do unconsciously, but some hidden enemy that's been undermining your self-confidence, that's been undermining your sense of importance, of sense of self-worth, Leo is all those things, self-esteem, will be triggered, can start acting out, and you can find out about that person. You can start new beginning in regards to how to deal with such undermining influences that undermining your self-confidence, and kick you into action to deal with them, to kick their butt, Anyway, if you're a Libra, the Sun-Mars conjunction, which will affect you for 2.5 years, but especially strongly for the next 1 month after the 27th of July, will be happening in your 11th house, which means that now there might be a new beginnings, a new strategy for action in regards to your friends. You might attract some very strong, some very leader friends, or friends that self-starters like Marston, some friends that are quite bossy as well over the next 1 month. But also you can be very active with your friends. You can be going to social events, social activities, even if you're not naturally. And by the way, why is Libra so active and social? You Libras are known for loving the spotlight, for not the spotlight, but loving to be social with others, because the 11th house is ruled by Leo. The 11th house is the social house, communications with others, social, get-togethers of any sort with like-minded people. And Leo is the sign of enjoyment, so Libras really enjoy that. And it's almost like now you can make new friends or new acquaintances or new social circles, especially in the whole of August. That will improve your self-esteem. That will create a breakthrough in your self-esteem, so you feel more like, so your light can shine through more. This Leo energy can shine through, and you can become quite initiative yourself, especially over the next 1 month, in regards to gaining new friends, in regards to joining groups, in regards to joining a club, or joining a clique of people that you consider will be able to further your goals, for example. So go for it, but it's with your personal efforts. You're the initiate. You initiate it, because the 2 planets of action are there in your house of social initiative. And whatever, and actually starting some important projects now, with groups of people, with social media. 11th house rules also social media, like the 3rd house. Important projects connected to large groups of people, or to organizations of some sort, or to parties of some sort, or some ideological project, some internet large-scale people project, will have long-lasting influence, because it's in Leo, and can affect you for 2.5 years, and can improve your self-confidence, and can put you in positions of authority of some sort, which is what Leo is all about. And you can also meet very motivated people, or mentors, or acquaintances, go-getters, people like that, who can also help you push through and have a breakthrough. Remember, Mars conjunct Sun is some kind of a breakthrough in the energetic imprint, in the energetic, how you approach your life goals. You can help you have some breakthrough in regards to your life goals, Libras, in regards to your long-term dreams and goals, which is what Leo is about. But again, these two, martial and fiery energies, Mars and the Sun, the 11th house, you can be around very inspiring people, but at the same time, and you can go after with lots of inspiration after your goals, and someone can help you in that, which is the 11th house benefactors, and go for them. But also be careful, because there might be more fiery situations and kind of arguments and ego clashes with people from your group and environment. And the 11th house is how we gain money as well. It's our earning potential. So there might be some new breakthrough, which you start, or new idea, creative idea, Leo, which creates a breakthrough and kicks you into action to pursue new ideas, how to gain, how to receive recognition in some sort, how to receive results. The 11th house is the house of gains and results. Good. What happens if you're, but very socially active month. If you're Scorpio, well, it's happening in your 10th house, especially if your ascendant is in Scorpio, or the Sun, The 10th house is the house of career and social status and your reputation. Well, it means, Scorpio, that you have a great restart of your career. Great potential even to start a new career, which will impact you for a long time. And it means that for the next 2.5 years, because Mars will be renewed in your 10th house of career, you'll be very driven. And that's for everyone else, not only Scorpio. Whatever house it's happening, for the next 2.5 years, you'll have a lot of impetus and drive in regards to that area of your life. A lot of get up and go, and hunting down what you want in regards to this house. So for Scorpio, it's about their career and their social status. Their hunter's instincts, their ambitious instincts are reawakened in regards to their career, in regards to new paths and new directions and new breakthroughs with authority figures, with institutions, with their career. And actually, there might be a bit of a clash with authoritarian people, because Mars and Leo are fiery planets, and you have to listen to authority figures, guys, because it's like the power is strong with them, Sun and Mars in Leo. But because it's such a benevolent sign in Leo, usually such authority figures, you can approach them, be proactive with your Mars and Sun, approach them and ask for something now in August, starting from the 27th of July. Ask them whether for promotion, whether for some project, whether for some advice. Attract those with higher experience than you, older in age, the 10th house, older in age, high experience, authority figures, bosses, those above you, institutions. Approach them proactively, and you're gonna get something. That will improve your self-confidence. That will improve your dignity. That will improve your self-respect and respect in society. The 10th house in Leo, and some leadership positions you might initiate. And by the time this cycle of Mars is finished, 2.5 years later, when you look back at that, you'd say to yourself, wow, I learned how to be a leader and to lead with the Sun, Mars, starting from August somehow. And it might require you to fight for it and to go after it, to go after career projects, but you have the drive and the ambition. And especially be active now in August, after the 27th of July onwards, because those new opportunities will come, And whether you're triggered because you want to prove to all I'm the best, or because someone pissed you off and you want to prove them that you can be on top, doesn't matter. Or whether just because you were inspired, which is the higher manifestation of Leo. I feel inspired, I want to get up and go, and I'm gonna create a great reputation, great name for my name, great new career direction. I'll have a breakthrough in my career, in my social status. Breakthrough can happen, and you'll stay kind of maybe not as charged up as now all the time for the next 2.5 years, but at least, it will. This is where the biggest results will be for the next 2.5 years in regards to your activities and actions. Then if you're Sagittarius, it's happening in your 9th house. Sagittarius, ascendant, well, good news. Fire signs help each other. And 9th house is about new perspectives for the future. You will have a breakthrough in regards to your vision for your future. A breakthrough that will kick you into action to regain back your power. But the 9th house is your projects for the future, your plans, how you envision, where you envision yourself in 5 years. This is what's going to motivate you, Sagittarius. You might feel very inspired. The 9th house is the house of inspiration. Leo is an inspirational sign as well. The 9th house is the house where God's finger shows you the direction through your higher intuition, through some kind of a teacher, through some kind of advice, through some kind of a lucky synchronicity or coincidence. Maybe you switch on the TV, you hear something, or read a lecture, something. But we always read inspirational things, but they don't always have this impact. How many times on Facebook do I see follow your bliss, whatever bullshit. And it will, out of 1,000 times, very rarely will such inspirational things say like a bulb here. Wow, this makes sense. Wow, this can transform me. My belief system is going to change my life. Well, when there is a trigger in your 9th house of your belief system, especially such a dynamic trigger with Mars and the Sun, this can actually trigger a big mechanism in your higher mind, a higher understanding from a higher perspective to start ticking. So you're like, oh my God, okay, I've read this makes sense, but this makes so much sense to me now. It's gonna move something like rewire your whole brain and your whole belief system in some way, or it doesn't have to be about everything in your life, but about one specific issue in your life will show you the bigger picture. And this bigger picture, this more inspiration, more belief that it brings to you, more faith, will kind of will give you the impetus, the motivation to start to initiate new beginnings in your life. So something inspirational can happen, some figure or whatever it is, some person or something that happens internally within you that will give you like a new focus in your life, like a new purpose. It can do something to do with pre-qualification as well, because 9th house rules higher education, pre-qualifying, because you're changing the purpose of your life. It can do with foreign travels. You might finally, like, you wanted to travel around the world, wanted to travel, you keep putting it off, and now something comes, this Mars-Sun conjunction comes, and you start actions over the next 1 month to organize a big trip or to travel to foreign countries, or to start some new high education course, or to start studying astrology, something new, inspirational study or belief system, or travel around the world that will expand your consciousness in your mind and will show you new perspective and bring new opportunities. 9th house is the house of opportunities, Sagittarius. It is your house. So very supportive. The Sagittarian house triggered by the planets of action. So inspiration, action, go. Sagittarius word is go anyway. So imagine they'll be even more spurred into action. And don't you need that, Sagittarius? With Saturn has been scraping its butt over your sign for the last 2 years, has a few more months to do that. So it really slowed you down and made you become more serious and more responsible and more, which is like, yes, everyone has to be, but it tends to be very heavy on Sagittarius because they like their freedom, they like their sense of optimism, and probably even Saturn took it away from you a little bit. And now you need this, this trigger of Mars and the Sun, of new impetus in the 9th house of inspiration, in the 9th house of new goals and purposes and optimism. So something improvement of optimism will kick you into some kind of new life goals, possibly, and into some actions that will improve your self-confidence and ability to enjoy life, which is what Leo is. Okay, if you're Capricorn, it's happening in your 8th house. 8th house is other people's resources that you share with. That's the material side. So there might be something that happens that, you know, whether it's your partner, that there is a new impetus in them to make more money, or whether it's new impetus for you to get more money out of your clients, you know, because that's other people's resources. New impetus, new strategies. This is Mars. Mars is the planet of strategy, of new action to acquire more money through others, whether it's your clients, whether it's your spouses, whether it's through some kind of collaboration with another person, so you utilize their resources or their skills in some way. And it will be long lasting because it's in Leo. It will create more self-confidence in you because it's in Leo. Maybe more autonomy and authority, even though it's dependent on other people's resources. Or it can make you very active in, say, oh, because that's initiating action. Let me initiate to sort out my mutual resources with my husband or with my business partner. Let me initiate new such transactions, or let me initiate something to do with procuring a loan, or something to do with procuring some inheritance. You might be fighting for it and actively trying to, you know, to have a breakthrough, and you will have a breakthrough in regards to alimonies, money that comes to you through others, you know. On the spiritual, more psychological level, the 8th house is intimacy. There can be a breakthrough in your sex life, into your intimate life. And 8th house also rules trauma. There might be like a powerful release, transformational release of something connected, something traumatic that happened, that Mars, with its new cycle there, helps you release it over the next 2.5 years. But usually it can trigger it by some mini crisis. It brings it to the surface, this kind of more traumatic and intense feelings. You re-experience it, just like pus coming to the surface, so the wound can burst and it can be healed. So it can be like a mini crisis for you, Capricorn, that something traumatic, something more intense that comes, but which is like a huge trigger for transformation. Because first of all, the 8th house is transformation on a deep level that is constant. Transformations like, you know, passing from one stage in life to another. Crisis situations which lead you to a totally new place in your life. So there might be almost like for the next 2.5 years, you'd be in a mode of, I'm going to make a huge transformation psychologically within me. I'm going to cross that bridge. And there might be a lot of healing of past traumas, a lot of almost spontaneous ones, which can make you feel more joyful eventually, because this is what Leo is about. On a different level, this is your intimate sex life. So there can be some new breakthroughs in your sex life. There can be some secrets and breakthroughs through secret information that comes, 8th house rules secrets, that spurs you into action to take control of a situation. And some crisis, 8th house, after all, is not an easy one. So Mars and Sun can trigger some crisis that you will have very quick intervention in, which will lead to eventually, you know, to more empowerment, which is what Leo is about, you know, and taking charge, which is what Leo is about. You'll take charge in such situations. Okay, if you are Aquarius, ascendant, and the moon, it's going to be in your 7th house. Other people's partnerships, business deals, agreements, contracts. There will be a new strategy in your relationships. There will be a renewal of, possibly renewal even of your relationships. Not saying that you're going to break up left and right, not at all. Actually, it's more about new beginnings. And it doesn't mean you're going to break up with someone to start a new beginning. It can mean like a new partner, business partner, a collaboration partner coming to you that you'll be very active with. That actually, if you start some activity now with another person, collaborating, this will last for, it will have lasting events. If you start some partnerships, will have long-lasting events, or some contract if you sign, will have long-lasting influence that will increase your self-authority, that will increase your self-confidence as well, that will increase your exposure to the public, that will put you more in the public face as well, in the public eye in some way. And there can be a new strategy how you're doing your relationships as well overall, whether contractual business relationships and promises, or whether personal relationship with your husband or your boyfriend and girlfriend. There might be a new beginning of some sort in the life of your partner, business or personal, marriage partner, like almost like they're getting a new impetus for action, for drive. If you feel like your partner has been unmotivated and kind of, you know, and not doing anything new, maybe that's a hope now, because there is an activation of new impetus and energy for action and for taking initiative that's happening in the house of your partnership, so your partner can become more so, or you yourself might be more actively pursuing basically activities with partners. You can be actively pursuing chasing someone. You know, you can be actively pursuing just being like I'm Libra Aquarius ascendant, sorry. And my mom is coming on the 25th of July, so I'll be much more active and do a lot of activities with my partner for the month when Mars and the Sun are in my 7th house. So hopefully this will also renew our relationship and give more drive and more excitement and more enjoyment, which Leo is about, in our relationships, to have fun together more. So it's a good time to initiate actions, to have fun with your partners, or to do some partnerships and to initiate, which will lead you to more exposure, Leo, to more authority, to more respect and dignity, you know, which is all Leo as well, and more joy of life as well. Okay, and you might be fighting more as well with others, because these are two impetuous influences. So you might be, you know, driving others too hard, or others, or it can project from others that they're pushing your buttons too much and pushing you, almost like others can be your motivator for the next 2.5 years as well. It's almost like your biggest action for the next 2.5 years will be happening in Leo, in your 7th house of relationships. So relationship have a lot of dynamism for the next 2.5 years because of the Sun-Mars conjunction in your 7th house. And they will lead to a lot of changes and breakthroughs in your relationships and partnerships with others. And they will lead to a lot of, and your best strategy actually, Aquarius, for a long time is to partner with others, because they'll be like your driving engine for you. And they will bring these Leonian qualities more into your life, of you know, exposure, of happiness, of joy. Okay, and if you're a Pisces, going to the last sign, sorry Pisces for taking so long to get to you, it's happening in your 6th house. And this means there can be a renewal of your drive to take care of your health, which will make you have more self-confidence, what Leo is, which will make you have more self-respect for yourself. The 6th house is how we take care of our health. You might do something with your diet that will have long-lasting effect, something to do with, and that will give you more self-respect, more authority as well, inner authority and strength, inner strength. This is what Leo is about. And it will be also about, so this is good, you can start such things like new diet or whatever, or it can be something to do with your work. So for example, there might be a change in your work environment, or you're willing to make some change in your work environment that will improve how respected you are there, that will improve your position and status, which is Leo is very status oriented. There might be a new creative project at your career that you have to put a lot of energy in, especially in August. You might feel like you have a lot of things to work on, a lot of duties and responsibilities that you have to do, but you feel motivated to do them. And you feel, by the time Mars comes out of your 6th house, Pisces, you'd be like, which will be kind of towards the end of August, you'll be like, oh my God, I got so much done. And I feel so much better about myself. My confidence is improved. And 6th house is about dealing with everyday mundane things, fixing things, running errands, doing a lot of work that has to be done, routine work, repetitive work, or housework, or whatever. And these are not always pleasant things, but they guarantee, like, now you're going to have the motivation, Mars and the Sun, the impetus to get them done, to finish them up, and the impetus even to start new work of some sort, or some new work project as well. And actually, for the next 2.5 years, there'll be a big focus for you, Pisces, on creating more organization in your life, in creating more, you'll be feeling much more driven. And this will be the biggest motivator for your actions for the next 2.5 years, to create more organization, to create more routines in your life, to be more hardworking, to put a lot of energy in improving your health routines and work routines as well. And you'll be very efficient and productive. By the end of those 2.5 years, because of this conjunction of Mars and the Sun in your 6th house, you'd find yourself that you became way more confident because you took care of your everyday details, which usually Pisces tend to omit and not notice. Okay, so that's it. And another thing is that Virgo, Mercury is going in Virgo on the, which day is it? On the, from the 25th of July to the 31st of August. So till the end of August, we have Mercury in its strongest sign. What better thing than that? And it means that it's a great position for Mercury. It's exalted. It helps with business, with managing, with organizing. Work which needs attention to detail will be for everyone, not just for one specific sign, for everyone. Work that needs attention to detail, fantastic time to be done throughout August after the 25th of July. To put order into our lives and environment overall, fantastic time to organize, to clean up around, you know, and to discriminate between the practical and illusory. Mercury is a planet of discrimination, and Virgo is very like detail oriented, and you know, so the Pisces is the opposite. Pisces doesn't discriminate. It permits it. It permits everything. While Virgo is like, it will see the things that are critical, that are not right, and especially because Mercury will go retrograde in Virgo, will fix a lot of those things that are not to the highest standards. We'll work on details. We'll work on creating more perfected project, and to making a project more practical, to making it more to perfecting the small, you know, details of something we're doing. So that's great for it, even though it can indicate more critical thinking, but very fast and very agile thinking and very discriminating thinking. We won't be so subject to self-deceptions, you know, and very practical for practical actions. Anyway, that's for it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for bearing with me through all this, and I will see you next week. Come and join me all about Leo. I'm going to teach you so much about Leo. I barely touched the surface now about Leo in this long video, which was so much about what's happening in the sign of Leo. But it's Leo season, so we are doing foundational course on Leo, only $29. Thank you.